The big spaceship of the Zarkonian Empire moved slowly through the dark space. It was looking for new worlds to take over. The ship was huge, like a flying city. Its metal skin shone in the light of faraway stars. On the bridge of the ship, Commander Krull stood tall. He had blue skin and 4 arms. His eyes were big and black. Krull was proud and sure of himself. He thought his people were the strongest in the galaxy. "Sir, we found a new planet," said one of the crew. He pointed to a screen showing the blue and green world. Krull smiled. "Good. What can you tell me about it?" The crew member touched some buttons. "It's the 3rd planet from a yellow star. It has lots of water and land. There's life on it." "Any space travel?" Krull asked. "No, sir. They have some small ships that go to their moon. But that's all." Krull laughed. "Weak. They will be easy to beat." The Zarkonians kept watching Earth. They saw cities, cars, and planes. They saw farms and factories. But they didn't see any big space guns or strong ships. "These humans are not ready for us," Krull said. "We will win easily." But on Earth, people were starting to notice something strange. In a big room full of computers, Dr. Minjun was working late. He was looking at data from space telescopes. Suddenly, he saw something odd. "That can't be right," he said to himself. He checked the numbers again. Then he called his friend, Captain Seoyeon. "Seoyeon, you need to see this," Minjun said when she answered. "What is it?" she asked. She could hear the worry in his voice. I think there's a spaceship near Earth, the big one." Seoyeon was quiet for a moment. "Are you sure?" "Yes. Come quick." In just 10 minutes, Seoyeon was there. She looked at Minjun's computer screen. Her eyes got big. "We need to tell the government," she said. They called their bosses. Soon, the news was spreading. The president of Korea was told. Then other world leaders found out. People all over the world began to see the alien ship. It was very big and easy to see in the night sky. News shows talked about it all the time. Some people were scared. Others were excited. "What do they want?" people asked. "Are they friendly?" The world's armies got ready. They didn't know if the aliens would attack. Tanks rolled into cities. Planes flew in the sky all the time. Minjun and Seoyeon worked day and night. They tried to learn more about the aliens, but it was hard. The alien ship was like nothing they had ever seen. "Their technology is so advanced," Minjun said. He sounded worried. Seoyeon nodded. "Yes, but we have to try. Earth needs us." Days passed. The alien ship came closer. It was now just past the moon. Then one day, all the TVs, phones, and computers on Earth showed the same thing. It was a face, a blue face with big black eyes. "People of Earth," the alien said. Its voice was deep and scary. "I am Commander Krull of the Zarkonian Empire. Your world now belongs to us. Do not fight. You cannot win." The message played over and over. People were scared. Some cried. Others got angry. World leaders met in a big room. They talked about what to do. Should they try to fight? Should they give up? Minjun and Seoyeon were at the meeting too. They told the leaders what they knew about the aliens. "They think we're weak," Seoyeon said. "But they don't know everything about us." Minjun agreed. "We may not have big spaceships, but we have something else. We have lots of people. And we're good at working together when we need to." The leaders listened. They thought hard. Finally, they made a choice. "We will not give up," they said. "We will fight." And so, as the alien ship came closer, Earth got ready. It would be a hard fight. But humans were not going to give up their home without trying. The first battle for Earth was about to begin. The world was scared. Everyone knew about the aliens now. People looked at the sky a lot. They could see the big Zarkonian ship. It was like a dark cloud over the earth. Commander Krell was happy. He thought the humans would give up soon. He sent another message to Earth. "Humans," he said. His face was on every screen again. "You have one Earth day to surrender. If you don't, we will attack. Your weapons are weak. You can't win." In a big room in New York, world leaders met again. They were trying to decide what to do. Some wanted to fight. Others wanted to give up. "We can't beat them," said one leader. "Their ship is too big." "But we can't just give up our world," said another. While they talked, Dr. Min Jun and Captain Seo Yun were working hard. They were in a secret lab under the city. Many smart people were there too. Min Jun looked at a big screen. It showed the alien ship. He was trying to find a weak spot. "Look here," he said to Seo Yun. He pointed to a part of the ship. "I think this might be important." Seo Yun looked closely. "You're right. But how can we use this?" Just then, a loud sound filled the room. It was an alarm. Something was happening. "The aliens are sending something down," someone shouted. Everyone ran to look at the screens. They saw small ships coming from the big ship. The small ships were heading to different parts of Earth. "They're landing," Seo Yun said. Her voice was quiet but strong. Min Jun nodded. "We need to tell the leaders." They ran to the big meeting room. When they got there, everyone was talking loudly. They were scared. "Listen," Seo Yun said. Her voice was loud. Everyone stopped talking. "The aliens have sent ships down, but we found something too." Min Jun stepped forward. He showed everyone what they had seen on the big alien ship. "We think this is a weak spot," he said. "If we can hit it, we might be able to hurt them." The room was quiet for a moment. Then one of the leaders spoke. "But how? We don't have ships that can go that high." Min Jun smiled a little. "We have an idea about that too." He told them about a secret project. It was a new kind of rocket. It could go very high and very fast. "We were building it to study space," Min Jun said. "But now we can use it to fight." The leaders listened carefully. They talked some more. Finally, they made a choice. "We will fight," they said. "We will not give up Earth." They told Min Jun and Seo Yun to get ready. The new rocket would be their best hope. Meanwhile, the small alien ships landed in different places. One landed in a field in Kansas, another in a forest in Brazil, one more in a desert in Egypt. From each ship, alien soldiers came out. They had blue skin like Krall. They carried strange guns. But the humans were ready. Armies from all over the world went to fight the aliens. There were big battles in many places. In Kansas, farmers fought with their tractors and trucks. In Brazil, people from the rainforest used their knowledge of the land to trick the aliens. In Egypt, the army used the sand to hide and surprise the aliens. The fights were hard. The aliens had better guns, but the humans had more people, and they knew their land better. Back in New York, Min Jun and Seo Yun worked fast. They had to get the rocket ready. It was their only chance to hit the big ship. "We can do this," Seo Yun said to Min Jun. She put her hand on his shoulder. Min Jun nodded. "Yes, we can. We have to." They worked all night. The rocket was almost ready. But time was running out. Up in space, Commander Krell was getting angry. The humans were not giving up. They were fighting back. "Impossible," he said. "How can they fight us?" He didn't know it, but he was about to learn a big lesson. Humans were stronger than he thought, and they were just getting started. The sun rose on a world at war. Alien ships were in many places now. Humans fought hard to protect their homes. In a military base near Seoul, General Jeho looked at a big map. It showed where the aliens were. There were too many red dots on the map. "We need more help," he said to his team. "Call everyone who can fight." All over the world, people joined the fight. Doctors, teachers, and shop owners became soldiers. They didn't have fancy guns, but they had courage. Meanwhile, Min Jun and Siu Yun were getting the special rocket ready. They worked in a big room under the ground. Many computers and machines were around them. Almost done, Min Jun said. He looked tired but happy. Siu Yun nodded. Good. We need to hurry. Just then, a loud boom shook the room. Dust fell from the ceiling. What was that? Siu Yun asked. They ran to a screen. It showed the city above them. Alien ships were attacking New York. Oh no, Min Jun said. We're running out of time. Up in space, Commander Krell was angry. He thought taking over Earth would be easy, but the humans kept fighting back. Send more ships, he told his team. We must win. More alien ships came to Earth. They attacked big cities all over the world. Paris, Tokyo, and Cairo were all under attack. But humans didn't give up. In Paris, people used the metro tunnels to hide and fight back. In Tokyo, they used tall buildings to trap alien ships. In Cairo, they used the old pyramids as bases. General Jiho got news from all over the world. Some was good, some was bad. We lost the battle in London, someone told him. Jiho nodded sadly. But then he got better news. Sir, we won in Mumbai. The aliens are leaving the city. This made Jiho feel better. Humans were learning how to fight the aliens. Back in the underground room, Min Jun had an idea. Siu Yun, look at this, he said. He pointed to a screen showing the alien ships. What is it? She asked. See how they move. I think they can't turn quickly. If our planes fly in zigzags, the aliens might not be able to hit them. Siu Yun's eyes got big. That's brilliant. We need to tell General Jiho. They called the general right away. Jiho listened carefully. Good work, he said. I'll tell our pilots. Soon, planes all over the world were flying in new ways. They moved like snakes in the sky. The alien ships had trouble hitting them. For the first time, humans started to win more battles in the air. This made Commander Krell very angry. He called his best fighter, Captain Zorn. Go down there, Krell said. Show them how strong we are. Zorn nodded. He got in a special ship and flew to Earth. Zorn was a great fighter. He shot down many human planes. People were scared of his ship. It was faster and stronger than the others. But then, something unexpected happened. A small group of human planes met Zorn over the Atlantic Ocean. They were led by a brave pilot named Jisoo. Jisoo saw how Zorn flew. She noticed he always turned left. Follow me, she told her team. Jisoo flew right at Zorn's ship. At the last second, she turned right sharply. Zorn couldn't follow. His ship flew past hers. The other human planes shot at Zorn's ship. They hit it many times. Zorn's ship started to fall. It crashed into the ocean. When Commander Krell heard this, he couldn't believe it. How could his best fighter lose? On Earth, people cheered. Humans had won an important battle. It gave everyone hope. In the underground room, Min Jun and Siu Yun heard the news. We can do this, Siu Yun said. We can win. Min Jun nodded. Yes, but we still need to finish our rocket. It's the only way to hit their big ship. They went back to work. The rocket was almost ready. But the biggest battle was still to come. The war had been going on for weeks now. Humans were fighting hard, but the aliens kept coming. There were still too many of them. In their underground lab, Min Jun and Siu Yun were tired. They had been working day and night on their rocket. But now, Min Jun had a new idea. Siu Yun, come look at this, he said, waving her over to his computer. Siu Yun walked over, rubbing her eyes. What is it? Min Jun pointed to his screen. I've been studying the alien ships we shot down. I think I found something important. On the screen was a picture of a strange-looking computer chip. It was unlike anything they had seen before. This chip controls their ships, Min Jun explained. And I think I can make a virus to stop it. Xiao Yan's eyes went wide. A virus? Like a computer virus? Min Jun nodded. Yes, but much more powerful. If we can get it into their main ship, it could shut down all their technology. This was big news. They called General Jiho right away. When Jiho heard the plan, he was excited but worried. This could win us the war, he said. But how will we get the virus into their main ship? Min Jun and Xiao Yan looked at each other. They knew what they had to do. We'll use our rocket, Xiao Yan said, but someone will have to fly it. The room went quiet. Flying the rocket would be very dangerous. Whoever did it might not come back. I'll do it, Xiao Yan said softly. Min Jun started to argue, but Xiao Yan stopped him. I'm the best pilot we have. It has to be me. General Jiho nodded slowly. Okay, but we need to tell the world leaders first. Soon, leaders from all over the world were meeting again. They sat around a big table, looking worried. Min Jun explained the plan. Some leaders liked it, but others were scared. What if the virus spreads to our computers too? One asked. It won't, Min Jun promised. We designed it only for alien technology. Another leader spoke up. But is it right to use a virus? Isn't that like a germ weapon? This started a big argument. Some leaders thought the virus was wrong to use. Others said they had no choice. While the leaders argued, Xiao Yan stood up. Please listen, she said. Everyone got quiet. I know this plan is scary, she said, but I've seen what the aliens are doing to our world. We need to stop them. I'm willing to risk my life for this. Please, let us try. The room was silent for a moment. Then, one by one, the leaders started to nod. Okay, said the leader of France. We agree. Make the virus. Min Jun and Xiao Yan got back to work right away. They had to work fast. The aliens were getting closer to winning every day. Days passed. Min Jun worked on the virus while Xiao Yan trained for the rocket flight. Both were scared, but they didn't show it. One night, Min Jun found Xiao Yan looking at pictures of her family. Are you okay? He asked. Xiao Yan nodded. Yes, I'm just thinking about them. I hope I can see them again. Min Jun put his hand on her shoulder. You will. I promise. Finally, after a week of hard work, the virus was ready. Min Jun held up a small device. This is it, he said. Our secret weapon. Xiao Yan took the device carefully. Let's hope it works. They went to where the rocket was waiting. It was big and shiny. Xiao Yan would use it to fly up to the alien ship. As Xiao Yan got ready to get in the rocket, Min Jun stopped her. Be careful up there, he said. Xiao Yan smiled. I will. Take care of things down here. They hugged. Then Xiao Yan climbed into the rocket. The door closed behind her. Min Jun and the others went to the control room. They watched as the rocket got ready to launch. Good luck, Min Jun whispered. The rocket's engine started. Fire and smoke came out. Then, with a huge roar, the rocket lifted off. Xiao Yan was on her way to the alien ship. The most dangerous part of their plan had begun. Xiao Yan's rocket shot up into the sky. It went faster and faster. Soon, it was just a tiny dot of light. In the control room, Min Jun and the others watched on big screens. They could see what Xiao Yan saw. The blue sky turned black as the rocket went into space. She's almost there, Min Jun said. His hands were shaking a little. In the rocket, Xiao Yan took deep breaths. She could see the huge alien ship getting closer. It was bigger than she had imagined. I'm approaching the target, she said into her radio. Suddenly, alarms started beeping in her rocket. The aliens had seen her. They're shooting at me, Xiao Yan shouted. Min Jun and the others watched helplessly as bright lights flew past Xiao Yan's rocket. The aliens were trying to shoot her down. Xiao Yin remembered her training. She moved the rocket in a zigzag pattern, just like the planes did. It worked. The alien shots missed her. "I'm still on course," she said. "Almost there." The alien ship got bigger and bigger on her screen. Xiao Yun aimed for a spot Min Jun had shown her. It looked like a door on the side of the ship. "Here goes nothing," she said. Then she pressed a button. A small part of her rocket shot out towards the alien ship. It carried the virus Min Jun had made. It hit the alien ship right where Xiao Yun had aimed. For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, all the lights on the alien ship went out. In the control room, everyone held their breath. Had it worked? Up in space, Xiao Yun watched in amazement. The huge alien ship was drifting. It wasn't moving on its own anymore. "It worked," she shouted. "The virus worked." Cheers erupted in the control room. Min Jun jumped up and down, hugging everyone near him. But their joy was short-lived. Xiao Yun's voice came over the radio again, sounding worried. Guys, I have a problem," she said. "My rocket won't turn around. I think the virus affected it too." Min Jun's heart sank. They hadn't thought about this. Their virus was stopping Xiao Yun from coming home. "Don't worry," he said into the radio. "We'll figure something out. Just hang on." While they tried to find a way to save Xiao Yun, something amazing was happening all over Earth. The alien ships everywhere suddenly stopped working. They fell from the sky or drifted in space. The alien soldiers were confused and scared. General Jiho got reports from all around the world. Humans were winning battles everywhere now. The aliens couldn't fight back. In New York, people came out of hiding. They saw alien ships lying broken in the streets. In Tokyo, the aliens left their ships and ran away. In Cairo, people cheered as they watched alien ships fall from the sky. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. On screens all over the world, a face appeared. It was Commander Krull, the alien leader. He looked angry and confused. "Humans," he said, "how did you do this? Our ships, our weapons, nothing works." Then Krull's eyes got wide. He seemed to realize something. "Your population," he said. "There are so many of you, and you all work together. We were wrong about you." People everywhere watched in shock. The alien commander was admitting defeat. "We will leave your world," Krull said. "We have learned an important lesson. Numbers alone do not make a species strong. It is how they work together that matters." As Krull's face disappeared from the screens, cheers erupted all over Earth. Humans had won. But in the control room, Min Jun couldn't celebrate yet. They still had to save Xiao Yun. "I have an idea," he said. He grabbed a radio and started talking fast. Up in space, Xiao Yun listened carefully to Min Jun's plan. It was risky, but it might work. "Okay," she said. "Let's do it." As Xiao Yun got ready to try Min Jun's plan, people all over Earth held their breath. The war was over, but one last hero still needed to come home. While people on Earth celebrated their victory, Min Jun was working hard to save Xiao Yun. She was still stuck in space, her rocket unable to turn around because of the virus. "Okay, Xiao Yun," Min Jun said into the radio. "Remember the plan. You need to restart your rocket's computer." "Got it," Xiao Yun replied. Her voice sounded far away. "But won't that let the virus in?" Min Jun nodded, even though Xiao Yun couldn't see him. "Yes, but only for a moment. You'll have to work fast." Xiao Yun took a deep breath. "I'm ready." She pressed a big red button. All the lights in her rocket went out. Then, one by one, they came back on. "It's working," Xiao Yun said. "The computer is restarting." Min Jun watched the clock. "Okay, you have 30 seconds before the virus takes over again. You need to turn the rocket around and start going back to Earth." Xiao Yun's hands flew over the controls. She turned knobs and pressed buttons as fast as she could. 10 seconds left, Min Jun warned. Xiao Yin gritted her teeth. Almost there. 5 seconds. Just then, Xiao Yan hit the last button. The rocket turned around, and its engines fired up. I did it, she shouted. I'm coming home. Cheers erupted in the control room. Min Jun fell back in his chair, feeling relieved. As Xiao Yun's rocket headed back to Earth, something amazing was happening all over the world. People everywhere were working together in new ways. They had learned a lot from fighting the aliens. In New York, people used alien ship parts to make new, better buildings. The buildings were stronger and used less energy. In Tokyo, scientists studied the alien computers. They learned how to make faster, smarter machines. In Cairo, doctors used alien medical tools to heal people in ways they never could before. General Jiho was amazed. He watched as soldiers and civilians worked side by side to clean up after the war. We're stronger than we ever knew, he said to himself. Meanwhile, world leaders were meeting again. This time, they weren't arguing. They were making plans to work together. We need to be ready, one leader said, in case the aliens come back. The others nodded. They decided to start a new project. It would be called the Earth Defense Force. The Earth Defense Force would use the best ideas from every country. They would build new ships and weapons. But more importantly, they would teach people how to work together. Min Jun was asked to lead the science part of the Earth Defense Force. He was excited but had one condition. I'll do it, he said, but only if Xiao Yan can work with me. The leaders agreed. They knew how important teamwork was now. As all this was happening, Xiao Yan's rocket was getting closer to Earth. Everyone watched the sky, waiting to see it. Finally, a bright light appeared. It got bigger and bigger. It was Xiao Yan. Her rocket landed safely in a field. As soon as the door opened, Min Jun ran to her. You did it, he said, giving her a big hug. Xiao Yan smiled. We did it. All of us. In the days that followed, Xiao Yan and Min Jun became heroes. People wanted to hear their story, but what made them most proud was seeing how people had changed. Everyone was working together now. They were using their new knowledge to make the world better. You know, Xiao Yan said to Min Jun one day, the aliens thought we were weak because we were so different from each other. Min Jun nodded. But that's actually our strength. We have so many different ideas and ways of doing things. Xiao Yan smiled. And when we work together, we can do anything. As they looked out at the busy streets, where people from all over the world were working together, they knew it was true. Humans had not just survived the alien attack. They had become stronger because of it. And they were ready for whatever the universe might bring next. 5 years had passed since the big alien war. Earth looked very different now. Tall buildings made from alien metal shone in the sun. Strange-looking cars that didn't need gas moved quietly on the streets. Min Jun walked into a large room filled with computers and screens. This was the control center of the Earth Defense Force. He smiled as he saw Xiao Yan working at one of the stations. Good morning, he said. Any news from our deep space probes? Xiao Yan looked up and grinned. Actually, yes. Come look at this. Min Jun leaned over her shoulder to look at the screen. It showed a map of stars, with a blinking dot far away from Earth. Is that? Min Jun started to ask. Xiao Yan nodded. Yes, it's the Zarkonian homeworld. We finally found it. This was big news. Ever since the war ended, humans had been looking for where the aliens came from. They wanted to make sure the Zarkonians wouldn't attack again. Just then, General Jiho walked in. He looked older now, with gray hair at his temples, but his eyes were still sharp and alert. I heard we have news, he said. Tell me everything. As Xiao Yan explained what they had found, Min Jun thought about how much had changed. Humans weren't just defending Earth anymore. They were exploring space. Using the alien technology they had learned from, humans had built their own spaceships. These ships were fast, and could go very far. They had already visited Mars and some of Jupiter's moons. But finding the Zarkonian homeworld was different. It was both exciting and scary. What should we do? Min-jun asked when Seo-yun finished explaining. General Ji-ho thought for a moment. We need to tell the World Council. They'll decide our next move. The World Council was a new group made up of leaders from all Earth's countries. They worked together to make big decisions for the whole planet. Later that day, Min-jun and Seo-yun stood before the World Council. They told the leaders what they had found. Some leaders wanted to send ships right away to check on the Zarkonians. Others thought it was too dangerous. What if they attack us again? One leader asked. But what if they need help? Another said. We should try to make peace. The debate went on for hours. Finally, the leader of the World Council stood up. Everyone got quiet to listen. We have learned much since the war, she said. We know now that strength comes in many forms. Yes, we are strong enough to fight if we must, but we are also strong enough to offer peace. She looked at Min-jun and Seo-yun. We will send a ship to the Zarkonian world, but not to fight, to talk. A murmur went through the room. This was a big decision. Dr. Min-jun, Captain Seo-yun. The leader continued. Will you lead this mission? Min-jun and Seo-yun looked at each other. They both knew this would be dangerous. But it was also a chance to do something amazing. We'll do it, they said together. In the weeks that followed, Earth was busy getting ready for the mission. A new ship was built, bigger and faster than any before. It was called the Hope. On the day of the launch, thousands of people came to watch. The Hope stood tall and shiny on the launch pad. Min-jun and Seo-yun stood at the bottom of the ship, ready to board. They wore new spacesuits that looked a bit like the alien armor they had once fought against. Are you ready? Min-jun asked. Seo-yun nodded. Ready. Let's go make history. They climbed into the ship. As the doors closed, they could hear people cheering. The engines of the Hope roared to life. Slowly, then faster and faster, the ship rose into the sky. Min-jun and Seo-yun watched through the windows as Earth got smaller and smaller. Soon, it was just a blue and green ball floating in space. It's beautiful, Seo-yun said softly. Min-jun agreed. Yes, it is. And now we're going to show the rest of the universe how amazing humans can be. As the Hope sped towards the stars, carrying a message of peace to their former enemies, Min-jun and Seo-yun felt proud. Humans had faced their greatest challenge and come out stronger. Now, they were ready to take their place among the stars. The adventure was just beginning.